Hey guys, what's going on, man? How's everybody doing? It's me, Mike P. The Truth. What we got for you today is we just got my impressions and some commentary on Madden NFL 15 for the PS4. Just got the game after work yesterday. And this isn't a full review since I only had time to play one game last night in my franchise, but this is just going to be my overall impressions, thoughts, feelings about the game based on what I played last night. Now, how this is going to be set up is I'm using the Patriots. This is the second quarter, and how this is going to be set up, it's actually going to start in a little bit, the gameplay. How this is going to be set up is you're going to see a series where I'm on defense, pretty much a full series. And I thought you'd see a full series of me on offense, but for whatever reason, when I saved the clip from my PS4 to my USB drive, it actually cut out the best part at the end where I actually scored the touchdown. So I don't know why it did that, but it should be enough time for me to accurately explain everything that's going on. So the first thing that you're going to notice, maybe not too much from this video, but when you buy the game and you pop it in, the first thing that you're going to notice is that the graphics are a lot better than they were last year. I played Madden 25 last year on PS4, and if you played the next-gen version when it first came out last year, what you basically found was that the graphics were exactly the same as PS3 and 360, only it was running at 1080p, and there was really no other differences other than that. They actually went in and they made a lot of improvements to the graphics this year. The stadiums look better, textures for the grass look better, the character models and the crowds, the coaches on the sideline, the other players on the sideline, they look a lot better, whereas last year they kind of looked like dead-eyed, wide-eyed robots or whatever. And the player models on the field are much improved as well. One of the things that I like is that you have different shapes of bodies. So an offensive lineman is going to look like an offensive lineman. A quarterback is going to look like a quarterback. As opposed to last year, everybody basically had a slender body habitus, and they were shaped like a wide receiver, basically. So it's nice that they improved that, and you're also seeing more texture detail on the actual uniforms as well. So they definitely took a lot of good steps in improving the graphics up through last year. Another thing that you're going to notice is that playing defense is that you have a new camera angle. If you press up on the directional pad, it'll give you a view of the player that you're controlling. So right now I'm controlling the defensive end, Chandler Jones. And they also have it set up like a mini game to where you'll see prompts. So when he snaps the ball, you'll see that perfect over his head. You could hit R2, or I guess it would be the right trigger if you're on Xbox One, and it'll help you jump the snap if you're playing defensive line. You'll also see prompts to do finesse or power moves like square or X. And if you hit those buttons in time, you'll be able to do these different types of moves and get pressure on the quarterback, maybe fill a hole better, fill a lane a little bit better, and things of that nature. And that new camera perspective that you get on defense actually gives you a better view of what's going on from that player. So if you're a defensive end, it gives you a better way to get an angle to rush the passer. If you are a cornerback, it gives you a better view of the field in front of you so that you could play defense and cover your receiver a little bit better. So I really like that new camera angle that they implemented on defense. In addition to the mini game like prompts, I think it makes the game better. Now you can utilize the regular camera angle that you always had on defense if you want to do that, but I really think that the new camera angle is the way that you're going to want to go. It helps make defense feel a little bit more engaging as opposed to a chore like what it did in the past. So they unfortunately just scored on me here. I thought I was actually going to hold them to a 3-and-out on the goal line there, but they ended up kicking the field goal. I had no idea what I was trying to do here in the settings. I had no idea. I think that drive just pissed me off when I was looking for sliders because I got pissed off at that drive. But Unfortunately, I'm using Movie Maker on Windows. I don't know how to edit that part out, at least not yet. I'm still trying to learn my way around. So one of the things that you're going to notice as well is that the presentation is better. The cutscenes along the sidelines are better. The halftime show is much better than what it used to be. Still not as good as NFL 2K5's halftime show, but it is an improvement over what they had last year. Overall, the presentational aspects are very good as well. Nice improvement from last year. Another thing that you're going to see that's different when you're calling plays on offense and defense is that You could still use the traditional play calling system if you want to and go through each of the individual formations, but what they've implemented in this year's version is a community-based system. So what's basically going on, at least from what I understand, is that the game is analyzing the team that you're playing, analyzing their tendencies, what kind of defense they're going to call, what kind of offense they're going to call, and it also gives you a success rate as far as how successive the collective how successful, I should say, the collective Madden community was with choosing that play in that given situation. So it's a little bit disorienting at first, I have to be honest with you, but you do get used to it. For the most part, it's good. I do feel that sometimes they don't really give you an appropriate selection of plays for the situation, so I find myself going back into the traditional play calling menu sometimes, but for the most part, it's a nice addition, and I think it's a good improvement over the game flow feature that they've had in previous years. And what's also nice about that new play calling screen is that from that screen you can change the tempo of the game on the fly. So for example, 2-minute offense, hurry up offense, normal, chew clock, things like that. Helps make time management a little bit more efficient. As far as actually playing the game on offense, one of the things that you're going to notice is the blocking logic is a lot better. The interaction between the defensive line and the offensive line. There's new animations, better collision, and things like that. So that interaction between the offensive line and defensive line is much better. And the run blocking is much better in this Madden than it has been in years past. There's still some issues as far as pulling linemen and your fullbacks not really leading you correctly sometimes when you're the running back, but I found in this Madden it's much easier to kind of survey your blockers, pick a hole, and hit the hole than it was in last year's game. Your passing system is also a lot different because the defensive AI for the secondary, I think, is a lot better. They're much more aggressive, and they have a pretty big tendency to try to jump or cut off your routes. So playing as the Patriots, if you're familiar with football, obviously you are if you're watching this video, but if you're familiar with the Patriots, you know that their offense consists of a lot of short passes, almost like a West Coast style offense, a lot of curl routes, a lot of slant routes, and that's reflected accurately in this game, but you have to be careful with those passes because if you call the same styles of plays, those cornerbacks will jump those underneath routes or those screen passes or those curl passes. So you have to be a little bit more selective with your passing in this game, and it is a little bit of a learning curve compared to this year. Another thing is that I noticed that you can actually lead your receivers much better this year than you could last year. So overall, as far as this game is concerned, my initial impressions based on what I played last night are actually very, very positive. The graphics are good, the defensive adjustments are good. Playing offense is probably the best that it's ever been in a Madden game, in my opinion. Some of my gripes, it's still really, really difficult to complete deep passes on like those fly routes or those streak routes. The quarterback tends to underthrow the ball too much on those routes, making it very easy for the defenders to get interceptions. So I think they need to work on that in one of the patches, a better ability to complete deep passes, even if you have somebody in one-on-one coverage down the field. It's very unlikely that you'll complete that pass, so they have to work on that. Another thing that I don't like is that when the other team is running a hurry-up offense and you're playing defense, sometimes it'll give you a goofy, almost broadcast-style camera angle, and I wasn't really a fan of that. I don't know if it's a glitch in the game or if that was intentional, but it was pretty disorienting at first. But like I said, overall, my initial impressions of the game are very, very positive. Of course, as I play the game, get more recordings, get more gameplay, I will update that as certain other issues arise to the table. But let me know what you think of this video. If you like what you see, like it, subscribe to me, follow me on Twitter, and let me know what you think of the game so far in the comments. Alright, peace.